Hey, what's up everyone? Swayne here, and today we've got a real special video, a guide as a matter of fact, talking about how you should be using your guild points. Lots of players are using their guild points at every opportunity they get, and they're awesome. It's an awesome resource to use, and you can get tons of really amazing things using your guild points in the guild shop. So we're going to be talking about my recommendations on what I think are the best items to be purchasing within the guild shop, the order in which that you should be purchasing these items, and some reasonings behind why I think these items are the best. So without further ado, let's get right in. First, we'll go over just a basic overview of all the items that you can get within the guild shop using your guild points. You can buy Mystic Scrolls for 200 guild points. You can get one of these. You can buy Water, Fire, and Wind Scrolls for 250 guild points each. Again, you can get one of these weekly. You can get yourself a 4-star max level Rainbow Mon for 150 guild points, one weekly. You can buy yourself Summoning Stones. You can buy up to 3 sets of 15 Summoning Stones, and each set of 15 costs 170 guild points. You can use guild points on Almighty Summoning Pieces. You get 5 pieces for 200 guild points, and these go to Secret Dungeon monsters or Hall of Heroes monsters. Just remember that you can only use up to 10 of these for one specific monster. Just remember that. You can buy 5 pieces of a legendary summoning scroll, I think is what it's called, for 200 guild points, and you can buy up to 5 of these per week. So you can spend 1,000 guild points and get 25 legendary summoning pieces. You can spend 450 guild points on 10 Ifrit summoning pieces, and you can get up to 2 sets a week. So you can spend 900 guild points for a total of 20 Ifrit summoning pieces per week. The Cowgirl, the Fire Martial Cat, the Wind Amazon, the Water Martial Cat, and the Water Grim Reaper, you can buy 10 summoning pieces for each of them for 200 guild points per week, and there is no limit each week as to how many you can get. It just matters, of course, how many guild points you have. And last on the list, but definitely not least, we have the guild shop buildings, so to speak. These are very similar to the glory shop buildings that you can find going into the just normal shop, I believe, and spending glory points on, except these are exclusive for guild battles, and these do stack on top of the glory shop buildings, which is awesome for Guild Wars. So you can get the Flag of Rage, which increases critical damage, the Flag of Hope, which increases HP, Flag of Will, which increases defense, and the Flag of Battle, which increases attack. I believe that these go up to level 10, and the cost progressively gets higher and higher as you upgrade them higher up in the chain. So now let's talk about what my recommendations are as to what are the best things to be buying. And this really, honestly, in my opinion, this goes for every single level, every single player out there, whether you're a Guardian 3 player, whether you're the best player in the world, or whether you're the worst player in the world. I think that these recommendations are pretty universal. The very most important thing, in my opinion, that every single person in this game, if you're participating in Guild Wars, needs to be buying is none other than the 4-star max level Rainbow Mon. And the reason I say that is this. It's a very cheap item, first of all. In fact, I think it is actually maybe the cheapest item in the whole shop. Let me just double check that. I don't want to... Yeah, it is the cheapest thing in the entire shop for 150 guild points. And buying yourself a 4-star max level Rainbow Mon is essentially like getting yourself a free 5-star monster to use for evolution materials. Now, of course, you need to evolve this in order to become a 5-star monster. However, the actual process of leveling up a monster from a 3-star up to max level 3-star, evolving it into a 4-star, then leveling it up all the way to max level 30 as a 4-star takes a very long time, even with double experience on. And this really will save you a lot of time, resources, and even monsters, honestly, just with the evolution cost and things like that, in order to be making more 6-star monsters, which is really, really important for basically everyone. Now, if you're not in a place where you can be making 6-star monsters yet, keep buying these and just save them. That way, when you are ready to be making 6-star monsters, you've got a ton of these saved up. So even if you're only level 20, you should still be buying one of these every single week, because eventually it's going to really pay off in the end. I absolutely promise you. So make sure that you're buying one of these every single week. Again, it's only 150 guild points. You can still buy a ton of stuff with guild points as the week goes on, but make sure that you're spending your very first guild points every single week, every time that the shop resets on this. The second most important thing that I think is the most important within the guild shop is the Ifrit summoning pieces. I'm sure many of you guys already know why they're so important to be getting, but I'm gonna spell it out for you. The Ifrits are literally free natural 5-stars for every single player in the entire game. Free natural 5-star units. Not only does it get you natural 5-star units, but it gives you very strong natural 5-star units. The Water Ifrit, Theomars, is a very, very powerful single target nuker, and he is absolutely phenomenal. I have one that is 6-star that I am using, and he just does wonders. He does absolutely wonders. His passive is amazing. He can hit anyone, and he gets that endure effect when he gets hit with a fatal blow, which means that he has pretty high survivability even too, which is excellent. So he hits hard, and he can really do a lot of work both in Arena and in Guild Wars. Not to mention, then, we also have Tess Ariane, who is the Fire Ifrit, who can get rid of enemy passive abilities and things like that. So you can attack a Perna, you can attack a Camila, you can attack a Chow, you could attack any monster, if Ramos, any monster with a passive, and his passive, ironically, will basically silence their passive, and that makes fights in Arena and in Guild Wars much more manageable. Really awesome monster, and he also provides some defense break with his second skill. And of course, the Wind Ifrit is definitely the less popular of the 3 regular elemental Ifrits. However, that being said, with the right team comp, he can hit really, 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 really exceptionally hard. I've seen some YouTube videos of him hitting easy over 60k damage, and that's phenomenal. I mean, that's really, really strong just from one monster. He does need a lot of team support in order to get to that level, and he needs good runes, of course. However, all 3 of these Ifrits, in my opinion, are good. They are usable, and especially, they're natural 5-star units. They're gonna do some work for you. They're gonna do some work for you. So why not be spending your guild points on this? Seriously. And again, whether you're the best player in the game or whether you're not the best player in the game, these units are still good and they're still useful. They really are. So absolutely, my opinion on this is that you should continue to spend guild points on this until you have all 3 elemental Ifrits. It will take a while, but I really highly suggest that you continue to get all 3 of them. Or at the very minimum, you need to get the water one and the fire one at the bare minimum. My next suggestion is to max out these stat buildings. The stat buildings are very, very, very powerful. They are extremely, extremely powerful. Now, these, as I mentioned, stack on top of the glory point buildings as well. Now, there's no speed one, which probably is actually a good thing, because that would just be crazy having plus 15 speed from the Sky Tribe Totem, plus maybe another potential 15 speed from this. That would just be crazy. All of your monsters in Guild Wars would be getting plus 30 speed, and like, wow, that's crazy. Plus 30% speed. So that would be insane. But I would highly, 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 highly recommend maxing out all of these. And I would do it in the following order. I would go Flag of Hope to get your HP as high as it can. Then I would go Defense. And then you can either choose between Flag of Battle or Flag of Rage after that, and I'll explain that. Why go for Flag of Hope and Flag of Will first? In Guild Wars, the name of the game is kill or be killed. as you guys know, when a monster dies in Guild Wars, that monster becomes unusable until the end of that Guild War. What that means is that if you have a bunch of monsters that are dying all the time, and let's say you've only got 10 6-stars that are well ruined, if any of those die, then you're at a real hindrance. And so because of that, I think the most important thing is to be maxing out your HP and defense stats so that your monsters stay alive longer and stay alive much more consistently. Because if you can do that, then you can use your monsters much more, and there's much more room for error. Okay, if a Darien, for instance, procs Violent another additional time, but you have your defense and your HP thing maxed out, it's going to hit hard still. Darien's still going to hit hard, but it's not going to be quite as detrimental. And it may not seem like a huge difference, but I can guarantee you this. Even if a monster ever survives just by a sliver of HP and you've invested in either the HP or the defense one, you can thank that tower because of that, and that monster will stay alive for the next fights. So that is why I would suggest doing Flag of Hope and Flag of Will first. After that, then, of course, focus on either Flag of Rage or Flag of Battle. The benefit of a lot of people are going to be naturally drawn to Flag of Battle over Flag of Rage because a lot of people prefer attack over critical damage, especially beginning players. But I would like to just say a couple of things about the Flag of Rage. First of all, it is cheaper. It is cheaper to buy than the Flag of Battle. So it will take less guild points and it will take less time to max out the Flag of Rage. And second of all, critical damage scales really, really, really high. For any of you guys out there that don't know this, critical damage it scales just insane. Now, you do need pretty high critical rate in order for it to be effective. But for endgame use, Flag of Rage is definitely, in my opinion, going to be more beneficial for your nukers and for your really high damage attackers and things like that. They're going to benefit more from Flag of Rage. Now, the thing about Flag of Battle, of course, is that it will benefit all of your monsters basically always, because even tank monsters and even monsters that don't rely on critical damage per se to really be effective will, of course, their attack will go up, and so their damage will naturally increase regardless of whether they get a critical hit or not. So if you're a beginning player and you're concerned about maybe not having high enough critical rate, definitely go for Flag of Battle. If you're more of a late game player, I would probably recommend going Flag of Rage, but it really is up to personal preference at that point. I'm probably going to be going for Flag of Rage once I max Flag of Hope and Flag of Will, but I'm definitely going to be doing Flag of Battle. So I would say so again, let's recap here for a second. First, always make sure you're getting your 4-star Rainbow Mon each month. Second, make sure that you're getting all 3 Elemental Ifrits because they're free natural 5-star units. And at the very minimum, make sure you get the Fire one and the Water one. Third, max out these flags, these guild point buildings. I would suggest first Flag of Hope, second Flag of Will, third and then third it's up to you. Third and fourth doesn't matter necessarily. Depends on each player. After that, then you can start looking at more of the consumable items. And the consumable items basically are going to be the scrolls. So the Mystic Scroll, Water Scroll, Fire Scroll, Wind Scroll, the Summoning Stones, maybe the Almighty Summoning Pieces, but the Legendary Summoning Pieces, and potentially the Cowgirl, if you really, really, really wanted the Cowgirl. But I'll be honest, I don't think any of the Cowgirls are really worth it, in my opinion. They're just not good enough. The Fire one used to have this crazy double stun effect for a while, but it, I think, is a glitch, and I'm pretty sure that they actually fixed it too. So none of them are good, in my opinion, at all. So once you get all of that other stuff maxed out that I was talking about, then you can definitely start going for these scrolls and just go for monster summons. Because really, at that point, you've gotten every single thing that you really need. And I would still continually be getting that 4-star max level Rainbow Mon every single week. But then after that, you can just go ham on the scrolls and, you know, on the legendary summoning pieces and things like that. Some people, there's kind of a big debate right now going on whether you should be spending your guild points on the legendary summoning pieces or whether you should be spending them on the scrolls. Here's my take on it. I don't think it matters that much. I heard a rumor, and I don't know if this is true. If anyone does know, please say something in the comments section. That'd be awesome, and I'll make a note of it here in the video, that only natural 4-star and 5-star monsters can come out of this. In other words, you won't summon, you know, natural 3-star monsters that are awakened or natural 4-star monsters that are awakened instead of getting a natural 4 or a natural 5. I don't know if this is true. If someone does know the answer to that, please, again, comment below, and I'll make sure to make a note of that here in the video, post-edit and stuff like that. Regardless, I probably am just going to keep going with the scrolls. I would just keep going with the scrolls because basically for almost the same price, let's say you get, you know, let's say the average person gets, or once you get to the upper level arena, you get 1,000 guild points every single week. Okay? Not unreasonable to think. If that happens, then you would be spending a total of 950 on these 4 scrolls. So 200 plus 250 plus 250 plus 250 equals 950. Or you could be spending all 1,000 on the legendary summoning, on the 25 total legendary summoning pieces that you can get each week. Which means that you can get basically 1 legendary summon from this every month, and you can get 16, yeah, a total of 16, 4 times 4, 16 scrolls. Now, let's be honest, guys. Most likely you're going to be getting a natural 4-star unit from the legendary summoning pieces. But on average, you'll be getting at least 1 natural 4-star from 10 scrolls. But you're going to be getting 16 scrolls. So I think that the scrolls actually have a little bit of an advantage. Now, one thing to think about, though, is that if these legendary summoning pieces have a higher chance of pulling a natural 5-star, then maybe it'd be worth actually going for this over the scrolls. I don't have that confirmed or denied. I'm not sure. But definitely something to think about. Do some research on it. Again, if someone knows, please comment, and I will also make a little note here on that. As for the other items like almighty summoning pieces and, you know, the cowgirls and these other units, if you really do need to get them, then go ahead and get them. If you've been working on a fusion monster and you just can't seem to get Fire Marshal Cat to save your life, you know, why not buy it? Why not? I mean, is it ideal? No, probably not. And I would say if you can help it, don't spend your guild points on these summoning pieces for these natural 3-star units, because honestly, eventually, if you're patient enough, you are going to get all of these 3-star units just naturally from the random mystic scrolls that you get, and, you know, even unknown scrolls. You'll get natural 3-stars every once in a while and stuff like that. And I would much rather use those 800 guild points on the Ifrits or on the stat building increase or something like that, personally. And I would just hold off on the fusions unless you really, really need them. Now, if you really do need them, or you just really, really want them, then you can, you know, kind of fudge with some of the guild points that I was talking about before and start going for some of these. It is really great that Contuas did this, because if you do really need this and you're just sick of waiting, you can just go in and get them. Because these monsters, of course, before the guild shop opened up, were not farmable. You could not get them. from monster drops or from secret dungeons or anything like that. And now they are technically farmable monsters because of this Guild Wars shop option. But again, if you can help it, I would say just keep waiting, just stick with it. 800 guild points is basically an entire week's worth of guild point saving up, really. And I think that you can use it just for better stuff overall. But again, I understand if you really want to go for this. I really do understand. So anyway, that is kind of my take on guild points, how you should be spending them, the order in which you should be spending them, and hopefully I gave some sufficient reasoning behind why I said the things that I said. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know down in the comment section, and I would love to get back to you. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something, and I will talk to you guys all later. Swayne out.